Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Cagesiders, Juntos en el Ring. I'm Jeremy, along with my co-host, as always, laughing at my terrible Spanish, Angelo Reyes, the coach. Coachy, how you doing? New time, new network.
Oh, man, I'm feeling great. Juntos en el Ring.
Same butchered Spanish.
Yeah.
Same butchered stuff all the time. We're so happy to be with Azteca,
yes,
to be a part of the Azteca family.
Yeah.
It means so much to us to have this show. Now you're kind of going, what are these two gringos doing on an all-Spanish network?
I'm a chameleon, dude. I can blend in anywhere. And actually, for a lot of my boxing coaching career, I'd been in Mexico, probably half the time.
Oh, there you go. Well, you have way more street cred than I do. Is that?
Well, you're from Texas, so,
hey,
isn't that? At one point, wasn't Texas a part of Mexico?
We're bringing up some old stuff, man. Remember the Alamo and all that good stuff? Okay, come on. You got to get me shot out here in these streets. But we are so happy to be a part of Azteca. We're so happy to, be, with them and bringing quality boxing and mixed martial arts coverage and interviews for all of you, bilingual.
Yeah.
We're going to have Spanish, English.
Absolutely. And we were having a lot of fun. I mean, we're going to show you guys stuff that we had from the Canelo Triple G fight.
Yep.
My man Jeremy was just at Bellator 183. Absolutely. And if you love your Bellator cage and MMA, we're going to show you that. This guy always goes to the UFC events. So there's so many different things that we're going to bring to you here in our new channel. And like for our show today, we got a world champion.
We do.
We got a world-renowned commentator. And they both speak Spanish. How cool was that?
It was very, very cool. It was just kind of luck of the draw, man. You have a guy like Ray Flores, the boxing MMA commentator, known all the way around the world and back. The guy is so cool. He's so collected. He's got that voice.
Yes,
that
voice is killer.
Makes Ray stand out, and he commentates both in English and in Spanish. And this guy is highly, highly sought after. We also have two-weight division world champion Jessie Vargas, local homegrown guy from Vegas.
Yep.
He stops and talks to us a little bit about what's going on with him.
Right.
And so it's a great first show to kick everything off.
Yeah,
with.
no, absolutely. And when you guys hear more and more, we're going to get you the insider informations. We're going to have some laughs. We might even do a couple of shows at some grocery stores locally in the area. You never know. Me and this crazy guy, we do crazy stuff all the time.
We're going to be all over Las Vegas because this is truly a Las Vegas show, and we can't wait to show it to you guys. Like you said, we're going to be in some grocery stores. We're at the UFC Green Valley Gym right now. Great place to hang out with fighters and just see, what's going on, to train, of course.
Yeah, we have, like in this gym, Kara Batara, who fights for Combates Americas. You guys would be familiar with her because Azteca is a part of that whole group.
And we got behind us over our shoulder.
Yeah, Bellator signee Anna Hulatan's right back there. Hitting the bags, getting mad at someone. I don't know who it is.
I don't know. I think it's you. Stay with us after the break. We're going to talk to Ray Flores. You're not going to want to miss this interview. We'll see you right after this break. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Cagesiders. Jeremy Long, along with the coach, Angelo Reyes, and we're here at the UFC Green Valley Gym, one of our favorite places in Las Vegas. We do a lot of segments here because we really love the staff here with the, we like the building. We like hitting things. It's all
we got Combates Americas fighters training here. We got Bellator fighters training here. We got everybody coming here.
Everyone except UFC fighters. No, I'm just kidding. UFC fighters, of course, are a staple here in the UFC gym. But it's really fun. We love the guys. And speaking of loving the guys, Coach, you caught up with Ray Flores, one of our favorite guys of all time. His voice alone carries so much weight.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, when you think about a person like Ray Flores, he really is the next great legendary voice of our sport. He covers both boxing and MMA. His knowledge is deep when it comes to that, and he talked to us a little bit about UFC 216, Kevin Lee versus Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, so, absolutely. We caught up with him during Canelo Triple G, that whole weekend, a crazy weekend here in Las Vegas. He had a lot to tell us.
Yeah,
a lot to share with us, especially when it comes to his travel and his plans. So, stay with us. Watch Ray Flores.
Welcome back, Cagesider fans, and we're joined by a very special guest. This guy, you'll see him in every walks of the fight sports, whether it's MMA, it's boxing, very knowledgeable, and such a great voice. Mr. Ray Flores, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, Angelo, always a pleasure, my man. Great to be here with you in Las Vegas. This is your town, and I'm honored to be a guest in it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Now, here we are, month of October, lots of things happening in fight sports, and we know, us at Cagesiders, we know your knowledge in MMA is huge. So talk to us about your thoughts on Kevin Lee versus Tony Ferguson coming up here.
This fight gets me so excited, and I am glad that we're seeing Kevin Lee and Tony Ferguson. No disrespect to Khabib, but you know what? I don't have to be politically correct here. I am going to disrespect Khabib. Khabib cannot stay healthy. Khabib cannot make weight. Kevin Lee, Tony Ferguson, the guys come to fight every single time. They make weight. They're professionals. They like to come to the center of the octagon. They like to throw hands. And coming up, you're going to see a heck of a barn burner.
Now, when we're talking about MMA, it's not always just the UFC world, right?
No.
There's always the Bellator. Bellator just signed Frank Mir. Bellator just signed Anna Hulaton. There's a ton of different things happening for Bellator. So, in your estimation, where do you see Bellator right now, and what's your favorite thing to watch when it comes to a Bellator event?
I love watching the diversity in Bellator because I'm an old school guy like you, Angela. I remember watching, Forrest Griffin, Stephan Bonner go to war. I mean, Miguel Torres, who introduced me to combat sports from a business standpoint. Love watching that guy. The Godfather 135, Faber the Godfather 145. And I like how they have these old school names that still have some left in the tank. Frank Mir, I think, has got still a long, lengthy career. You have Fedor, obviously, there. I love watching Chael Sonnen run around, Vanderlei Silva. But then you have the younger, fresher guys. You have Michael Venom Page. You have Paul Daly, still an old school guy. Aaron Pico, even though he suffered a loss, I think he's going to be okay. But I like this combination. Anna being in the mix. I mean, I love it. Heather Hardy as well. I think that this is a wonderful mix that we're seeing in Bellator. Like, Bellator reminds me, and we have a lot of good buffets here in Las Vegas. It's like a heck of a buffet. It's like, I'm a steak guy, but you know what? If I want a little seafood, bam. If I want a good dessert, there we go. If I want some ice cream, if I want some salad, it's all there. Bellator is the buffet for MMA, and it'll satisfy anything you want.
Wow. Scott Coker, did you hear my man right there? Bellator is the buffet for MMA. I love it, right? Now, let's talk about you in your career. PBC voice, doing all kinds of stuff. I heard you're Fight Night Live now also, right? Working with Al Bernstein, Paulie Malignaggi. This is your dream. Like you said, Miguel Torres kind of brought you into the combat sports world, but
Absolutely.
You are in the boxing world. We're like, Ray Flores, man, that's the man. So talk to us about that and you fulfilling your dream up to this point.
I've just been really fortunate, Angelo. One guy gives you an opportunity, another one, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I have worked for Premier Boxing Champions for the past 3 years, and Al Heyman and everybody that is over there has been unbelievable to me. Also working with, Mayweather Promotions, and, I started off working for Banner Promotions and, events, Hits Boxing back in Chicago, MMA events, been all over. So I've been really fortunate to work with some of the most amazing promoters on the face of the planet, and I've learned quite a bit from a lot of different people, matchmakers, fighters, trainers, media members like yourself, everybody. So I've been really fortunate.
Now, looking back at your, so far, I mean, the career is going to go even longer and you're going to become one of the legends that we have.
Oh, hopefully. Long way to go.
But so far, in your memory, when you called a live fight, what's the one that sticks out in your head the most? Whether it's boxing or MMA.
One of them has to be the David Benavidez Porky Medina fight that happened on May 21st.
And you called that fight.
I was just so honored to be there in Laredo, and David Benavidez unloaded a 7-punch combination to end the night for Porky Medina. And I'm sitting there with Sergio Moro. We went to break, and I'm like, oh my God, this is freaking ridiculous. Like, that is what the emotion that I had, because it was so beautiful to watch. When I talk about combat sports every single day of my life, because there's not a day in my life that I don't talk about combat sports, I say it is beautiful violence, because there is nothing else, whether it be football, basketball, soccer. You have 2 men or 2 women in a cage, in a ring, hand-to-hand combat, trying to impose their will on the other human being, and one is victorious and one is the loser. That is the truest form of sport, bar none.
Guys, I'm going to drop the mic now. That is why we have great people on our show like Ray Flores. Thank you so much for giving us this exclusive. Is there anything you want to say out there to all of our fans on Azteca?
Look, I love Azteca, love Angelo. He does a heck of a job. The guy just constantly brings it, works his butt off day in, day out for you guys. Follow me on social media. SBR Flores got a lot of big stuff happening for PBC as we close out the year. 2017 has been a banner year for boxing. It's only going to continue. Get revved up for 2018. It's going to be special too.
One last thing, Ray, can you do all of that in Spanish?
Okay. Si podemos hacer en social media SBR Flores y también tenemos un año espectacular para el final de 2027 aquí para Premier Boxing Champions en todo el deporte de boxeo. En el año que viene vamos a tener algo especial para todos.
Welcome back to the Cagesiders. Jeremy Long, along with the coach Angelo Reyes, and coach, our next guest is one of Las Vegas's homegrown hero, star, celebrities, however you want to name it. Even though the guy is so humble,
Yeah.
he's so down to earth. He's all about his family. He's all about just taking care of the people around him.
It's true.
You would hardly believe whenever he's talking to you or whatever, like
That he's
this
a
guy's-
world champion.
This guy is a multiple-time world
Yes.
champion.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, he really is. This guy, Jessie Vargas, he's one of the most humble people you're going to meet. If you ever come to Vegas, you'll probably just see him hanging out at regular places, talking to people all the time. And just, again, love that we had a chance to talk to him. And you know what's fun about our show, or in Spanish as we call it, Untos en el Ring, is that we get to talk to boxers about MMA. And he talked to us a little bit about the Kevin Lee-Tony Ferguson fight that's coming up in UFC 216 and kind of his thoughts on that. We caught up with him during the Canelo Triple G fight. And if you guys want to watch his breakdown of the Canelo Triple G fight, just go to Cagesiders.com. That was pretty awesome breakdown over there.
Yeah, and you talk about, we just talked to Ray Flores. Talk about another guy, Jessie Vargas, also does Spanish commentating.
Right.
He's one of the up-and-comers in that world. Of course, his experience alone is worth, whatever. But, just his feel of the game, his mind for the sport is incredible. Just how the ease he just breaks everything down to a simple level, so even people like me can understand what the hell is going on, because I'm still trying to wrap my head around Canelo Triple G and those scorecards.
Well, I think everybody's still trying to wrap their heads around the Canelo Triple G scorecards, but we're going to see a rematch.
We are. We're going to see a rematch next year.
Yes.
It's going to be fun.
But
All
for
right,
now,
guys.
let's see Jessie Vargas. Welcome back, Cagesider fans. We're having an amazing show here on Azteca, Las Vegas, and I'm here with the two-weight division world champion, one of the very best Mexican-American stars we've ever had in boxing, Mr. Jessie Vargas. Thank you so much for joining us on our show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Man, now, Jessie, do you watch MMA at all a little bit? You an MMA fan? Because that's our show is an MMA boxing show. So
I watch it from time to time. I enjoy it. I like it more when they, they stand up and take it. They don't take it to the ground. I remember the times that Chuck Liddell used to fight. But we have a lot of good fighters in the UFC that are coming out now. One of them being Kevin Lee. That night, I would definitely be watching UFC. He'll be fighting early October, I believe.
yeah, that's right, against Tony Ferguson.
That's right, El Chamuco or something like that, I think they call him. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think they call him El Cucuy.
Yeah, El Cucuy, that's right.
Now, so that's interesting because, even with yourself, you're a Mexican-American, but you're going for Kevin Lee on that fight, huh?
Yeah, of course, man. I know Kevin Lee, and I'm sticking with him, and I hope that he pulls out the win. He's a very talented UFC fighter, and, man, he gets down. So it's going to be an entertaining match. I think that all of his fights have been very entertaining. I've watched his past several fights, and I'm entertained, that's for sure. So everybody tune in. I believe October 13th. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's definitely in October here in Las Vegas. I'm sure you'll be there. You always go to all the ringside stuff. Quick thoughts on you were there for Mayweather-McGregor. Can you kind of explain to all of our Azteca viewers that why it was exactly the way all of us in the boxing world predicted it, the way it would go down?
One simple fact. 49 best of the best world champions or very elite boxing fighters weren't able to defeat Floyd Mayweather. What made anyone think that a UFC fighter making their professional boxing debut would beat him. You know, it's just it was difficult to believe that.
Now,
Yeah, we were right.
now on a technical standpoint, someone like you're a 2-time world champion in boxing. Would you ever consider kind of, learning some of the defensive grappling skills and then testing yourself out in there? Or you're just such a boxing purist, you're always going to stick to boxing?
I enjoy boxing. You know, I've been doing it since I was a kid, and I have so much more to accomplish in it. You know, plus it pays better, so I'll probably stay here.
Well, that's straight honesty for you guys right there. Now let's talk about your career and moving forward. What's kind of happening next? And 2018 could be a huge year for you. Boxing is having such a great year, and we're moving forward with so many different fights. Your division's a hot division, so not that you're not the type of guy to call anyone out, but just speaking again business-wise, what kind of fights do you want to see yourself in, and what are the best type of money fights for you?
The best fights are the fights that the fans want to see. You know, and I've always been all up for that, and I've always asked my fans, what fight do you want to see? And recently they've been mentioning the name Danny Garcia a lot. And if that's what they want to see, then that's a fight that we're going to continue to pursue, and hopefully we can make it happen soon for them.
Wow, man, Danny Garcia, I could see that fight happening anywhere from Las Vegas to even New York on a Puerto Rican Independence Day type of matchup. If you were to get that done, how do you see yourself beating Danny Garcia?
I see myself winning by knockout.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, fans, certainly you guys. Yeah, no. But seriously, fans, go out there, tweet it out, ask the promoters. You want this guy out there on TV showing everybody the type of champion that he is. Is there anything you want to say to all of our Azteca fans out there?
Thank you for the support, and hope you enjoy the show. Tune in this Saturday night, Canelo Triple G. If you understand Spanish, tune into the SAT version. I'll be a commentator on there alongside Ricardo Celis. Tune in October to watch Kevin Lee. He's taking on El Cucuy, and that's going to be good. Boxing and UFC.
Now, the one that you're doing, the Spanish broadcast, or is it a Spanish broadcast that you're doing?
Canelo Triple G.
Can you do it in Spanish for us real quick, the promo?
Sí, como no se pierdan la pelea este sábado, Triple G contra Canelo. Yo estaré comentarista contra mi buen amigo Ricardo Celis. No se la pierdan, va a ser un espectáculo. También tenemos otra pelea muy buena en el UFC en octubre, Kevin Lee. No se pierdan esa pelea.
There you go, Cagesiders fans.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Cagesiders. Jeremy Long, along with the coach, Angelo Reyes. We're here at the UFC Green Valley Gym hanging out. People getting a workout. You could hear it. You know, people punching the bags, things like that. I think I just stuck the mic in.
Not just
Coach's
people. Not just people. We've seen Kira Batara of Combates America training here today, and Ana Hulatan. Signed on to Bellator, baby.
New Bellator
what do you think of that,
signee.
buddy?
I love it. I love the news. I love the opportunities there. There's a lot of great fights to be had. Of course, the big one, would be the Heather Hardy matchup. If we can,
She don't want none of Ana, man.
Does she not want it?
She doesn't want none of Ana.
Is she scared?
I don't want to say scared, but.
man.
Look, man. Everybody knows that what I love about Bellator, you were just with Scott and all those guys over in my hometown, Bellator 183. But Scott and Rich Chu, they're if you ask, you will receive type of matchmaking. And we asked. And we did not receive, but it wasn't because of us. So, I don't even want to talk about that girl.
All right. She gonna get.
But tell me about Bellator 183. How fun was that?
Really, really fun time as always. Scott Coker and company, like you said, Rich Chu and these guys, they put on phenomenal events. It is not the. We talked to Jimmy Smith.
Okay.
The voice of Bellator not too long ago on our podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, anywhere. But we talked to him, and a point that he brought up that we hold dear is that Bellator is no longer that victory lap. And
Right.
I love that line that he used. It's no longer the company of old.
Right.
Under, Bjorn Rebney and these guys where you could come in if you're an old UFC guy, get a couple of checks, get a couple of wins, go out on your shield kind
Right.
of thing, whatever. It's a whole new ballgame.
Right.
They do production from top to bottom, hands down, some of the best stuff I've ever seen. Now, UFC, of course, is still your paramount.
Yeah.
But Bellator is right.
Yeah.
Depending on your style.
Depending on your
how
style,
you
yeah.
like things.
Because I really like the whole, even when Bellator did Dynamite, I remember how exciting that is. They brought back Len Hart.
Yeah.
They did it felt like Pride. And then I like the way people, their walk-ups with the fighters and the
I love the
and
big
the screen.
screens.
Yeah.
I love the big screens, the animations on the screen. I think that's just really cool. Whatever. That's just,
I mean, I think like we were just at Canelo Triple G and we saw how they did their entrances.
Right.
And then you were just at Bellator 183 in San Jose and you saw the flying cage. You saw the entrances there.
Right.
So honestly, if you were just a regular fan, you didn't know any of the fighters, which one was cooler to you, the Bellator entrances or the Canelo Triple G entrances?
I like the Bellator entrances. I like the theatrics of it. A little bit. That's just kind of my style. Some people like to straight ahead. The UFC, just come out the tunnel,
Right.
get in there, do your thing. But like we saw with Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko,
Yeah.
the fire,
The fire,
pyro,
yeah.
all that stuff going off. It makes for a little bit of an exhilarating entrance.
It is. It
really
is.
You
I
see
think
the
that's
goosebumps and everything else on people.
Yeah, no, I think that's why Bellator also gravitates towards the UK fans because I know that they're going. James Gallagher is
Gallagher gonna
in
be-
November, I think.
I believe so.
And then also, they just booked the December 15th UK show. So Bellator, man, guys. I mean, I know I'm pushing Bellator because both Frank Mir and Anna Hulton are Bellator, but I do love Bellator. I was
corporate
pushing them.
shill.
I was pushing
Corporate
Bellator
shill.
even before that.
No,
So let me make
they
it
are
clear.
great. They are a great organization. If you're not watching because of those old, you can only like UFC or Bellator, you can't like
Right.
both, you're doing yourself a disservice. Man.
Right.
You really need to check out. They've done a great job of really mixing their talent.
Yep, Mauro
Bringing some
Ranallo.
bringing some of their old school fighters
Right.
back in, building their newer stars,
Right.
keeping the stalwarts, getting guys like Mauro Ranallo in.
Goldie.
getting Mike Goldberg.
Right.
These guys have really, from top to bottom, they've really changed the game. But that's Scott Coker.
Right.
Scott Coker knows the fight game. He knows how to put on a good show. And so I'm really excited to see what the future holds, especially once the damn Frank Mir gets in there.
Oh man, I know Hulton pro debut
Yeah.
or MMA
I
debut.
can't wait for that either,
Yeah.
man. They don't want those damn hands. They don't those hands that this guy teaches them. So for everyone here, man, we want to thank you so much for joining the show. Cagesiders right here every Sunday, 12:30 on Azteca locally. We'll see you next time.